Alright, we're back. We're back. Welcome back to my channel, Dewey's Garage. And we're going to talk about Gixxer Brah and give a little bit of an update here. I want to thank everybody for stopping by in my previous video. I'm not trying to piggyback off of something bad that's happened, but I wanted to share some thoughts on things, and it seems like a lot of people enjoyed that. So with us talking about Gixxer Brah, I think I'm going to do a little bit of a compilation here, and I'm going to insert that right here, and I'm going to try to do something pretty cool. So alright, that's pretty cool. That's from our track day a couple years ago when I first met Gixxer Brah in person, and my friend Nathaniel got to meet him, and also got to hang out with the Jake the Garden Snake. Really cool guy. And so what we're going to do here is, also we're going to say, recognize this is the 10th of September, Wednesday, and obviously this afternoon for us here in Central Daylight Time, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. And it's kind of like anything else. If you love or you hate somebody, this is the kind of crap that can happen. When you let hate control your life, stuff like that can happen. And some people hate Gixxer Brah because of how he rides. So what I say to you is, hate what the guy does or someone does. Don't hate the person. Don't say, oh, he deserved this or that or the other. So I started to try to do this video yesterday because I wanted to update people and see what people thought. I've got a tremendous amount for what my channel gets, comments about it, and I want to kind of respond to some of those. I released my video last week, and some more information was released almost immediately afterwards. So we're going to start out by the most recent update we got last night from Gixxer Brah, and I got a screenshot of that from his story on Instagram, and that's the first thing that we'd heard since Riley got on his page and released a video, but we'll get to that before. We're going to work our way most present and then back, okay? So he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, he's talking about he had his first day of physical therapy, rehab, whatever you want to call it. And he talks about living in a world where he can't use his arms or legs. And that's where he's at right now. He's got lots of broken bones, and apparently it's in all of his extremities. And so he's got to rebuild himself. The team that's working on him, he's gone through extensive surgery, and he might have some more. Who knows? That's a speculation. But they rebuilt basically his right leg. It was crunched, and some people were saying that it was facing the wrong way. And that's where he's at. He's living in a world where that goes. He says he's going to have a dry period in his channel. There's going to be, he doesn't know what all's going to happen with it. That's his livelihood, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. He's worked really hard to build it up to what it is right now, and you can't help but feel for someone that's built something up, and when you go drive, you don't release anything for a while. It could affect you pretty badly. He knows about the algorithm and different things. So there's the deal, okay? Going back in time a little bit, my friend Jake the Garden Snake let me know that he had got a voice message or a voice text, if you will, but it's an audio thing from him. And it might represent how much pain the man's going through, and that's completely understandable. He had some organ damage. He had his spleen and his liver bleeding and stuff, and so they're giving him lots of pain medicine on top of the surgeries and the breaks and the bones and the wrists and the hands and probably the arms. God knows what else. Man ain't in his right mind, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to Jake, and I'm not going to say what all his message was, but he's worried about his channel and all these other things. Jake told him that, hey man, just rest up and feel better, and he doesn't know if he even received that yet. Everybody's been outpouring to him, and that ties into our next recent thing here, and I'm trying to be as concise in my thought process here. Riley's from Riley's Power Sports got on there today, or excuse me, on Saturday. I think that's when it was. We better throw it up real quick. It is Wheelie Wednesday. Not as good as what Gixxer Brah would do, but ooh, there's a bump. But we put up a little wheelie. Okay, but Riley got on there and kind of gave everybody a little bit of an update, and he said a lot of things. One of the main things is, he's healing up. It's slow. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a while. But he said a lot of different things about the outpouring. You can't really respond to a whole lot. There's a lot of things going on. He's in the hospital. He's getting treatment, and they're putting him back together. A big thing, previously, and we talked about that early on our first one. Oh, we got a little bit of a high idle here. Let's turn that down a little bit. There we go. But thanks for the outpouring. Gixxer Brah likes to respond to his stuff himself, of course. It's kind of hard to do that if your wrists are broken or your hands are broken or your arms are broken. You can't really do things. So, it's good for Riley to have, came in there and put a video message out there. So people in his circle are taking care of him. And this goes back to some other things, and I wanted to touch on this. Why isn't anybody that are in the motovlogging community, and I haven't checked lately, it's been harvest season, but why aren't people talking about it? That's one of the things that was in one of the comments in the section here. And briefly, Matthew Woods did talk about it in one of his videos. I think it was released this week, okay? And if you don't know who Matthew Woods is, that's the thoughtaken, something like that. That's the name of his channel, sort of. But before the incident happened, the week prior, they had an event where those two were working together. Brah was staying with Matthew Woods, and they were doing some different things, okay? And then Brah came back, and he had his event, his ride scheduled. That's where he got hurt on the way to it, or in the process of getting to that meet. Okay. Excuse me. And somewhere between that first week, when he was there staying with Woods, and the second week, they must have had some sort of disagreement, and Matthew Woods alluded to that, but he tried to keep it between himself. He just tried to be as vague as possible. I understand that. That's their business, and it should be their business. So I'm not going to speculate that. But I am saying that you could tell that there was some sort of, they weren't on the best of terms. So he doesn't really know. He didn't lead anything on. So there's that part of it. Okay. So that's not speculation. You can speculate on it all you want to afterwards, but that's what we have. That's what we have from that point on. You know, and I want to say to the people that make it to this far in the video, please do comment if you have a Gixxer Brah story. I'm going to lead off with one right now. You know, it had to do with that, and it had to do with this video earlier in the that I shared at the beginning here, when we met up with my friend Nathaniel, with Jake and Gixxer Brah. He rode my YZ250. A short time after that, well, a very short time after that, he rode his Gixxer 1000. I don't know if it was Colorado Springs to Denver or Denver to Colorado Springs, one of those two, and that infamous incident happened. But a short time after that is when he got his own supermoto. I think it was his YZ450F. I think it's either an F or an FX. But he had his own supermoto, and he subsequently eventually blew it up. We better throw it up here. Let's see. There's first, second, third. Should we do a third gear? Yeah, let's do a third gear. This road has kind of an aggressive crown to it, so it can throw me over towards the ditch really easily. See, my control just isn't there, friends. I'm not Brah. But I thought it was pretty cool that we rode supermotos, and it was a short time after that he got his own. And this is unfortunately the one in which he got injured on, and it looks like it may not appear to be as beat up as it may be, but obviously his forks are bent on that thing, and you know, your steering stem can be tweaked amongst other things. So that's my story there. Is, yeah, I don't really feel responsible for it, but I feel like I had like a little bit of a hand, you would say, in all of those things, and he produced some really fun content, and I hope that someday in the future when he's healed up, he produces some more content like that. I hope he's able to make a full recovery. I pray for that. If you're a praying person, please continue to do so. And I want to address the comments. You know, if you do have questions, you know, I've told you what I know, or what I'm willing to share at this point of the things in which I do know. I hope other people that are in his circle release some authorized information, and that he is able to make some more recovery progress. Let's see here. Hey, how you doing, kid? And I want my people in the comments to be respectable. You know, it's a free world, but please, you know, don't say, well, it should have happened, you know, this is what should happen to him, or this or that, or this negative crap, because that's not helping. That's not helping at all. So I understand, just like I said earlier, if you want to hate something, hate the things that he's done. Don't hate the man. Hate leads to violence, like what happened to Charlie Kirk. Hate leads to negativity and just spewing of hate and dislike and all those things. There's nothing good that comes from it. Okay, so please, friends, just try to be good, respectable, sane, sober-minded people. And that's just basically what I have to say about it. I hope that he sees this. I hope he hears it, and I hope he feels better. And I want him to know that we're praying for him. I think he does know that, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And that even though people disagree with some of the things he does, I had that conversation with him the week before he did something really controversial and made a lot of people hate him or dislike him or hate the things that he does. So I just, he had to do what he had to do and what he chose to do. And, We hope that he does better and he recovers soon. And even though it's not going to be the case, I don't wish this on anybody, but it's probably going to happen to other people. It has happened. Some of you people have shared your own stories of your injuries. One man lost part of his leg. One man, his friend had just died or was hurt really severely. There's a lot of people that reached out. We know that Matthew Woods, he had someone pass away while he was on a ride earlier this year. My heart goes out to him. I hate that. But with that being said, I know I ramble on. That's what I do. We say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. And again, please be kind, and please, if you like what you see here, I'm going to stick a fork in it with this. We're not going to talk about any more Gixxer Brah stuff. I just wanted to follow up, and if you want to get any information, if you don't have an Instagram, you're probably not going to get it. But if you do have an Instagram, go ahead and follow Gixxer Brah on here, and he usually puts stuff on his stories. So if you want to find out his latest updates, that's probably the place to go. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.